Sarah, thank you. We do continue to follow breaking news out of our Grand Rapids neighborhood, where Kent County Prosecutor Chris Becker announced that he will not file charges in the deadly February officer-involved shooting of Daquan Johnson. Our Grand Rapids reporter Matt Whitgos was there, spoke to Johnson's mother as well. He joins us live with the very latest. Hey, Matt.
Yes, Josh, we got a clearer picture of that night where Daquan Johnson, the 32-year-old, was shot and killed. Grand Rapids police officer. We're also getting never before seen video of that night from leading up to that moment, and also a different angle from when the shots were fired by that GRPD officer. It was shared during the announcement, as you mentioned. The Kent County prosecutor doesn't plan to seek charges against the officers involved in this case. Now, Becker explains to us that there was a confidential informant that had tipped off GRPD there was a man with a gun. That led to police to try to pull that man over, Johnson, and Johnson couldn't have a gun because he was out on parole, and he was also facing charges in district and circuit court. This is one of the new videos released today. It's security video from the apartment complex where Johnson was killed. You see Johnson on the ground as officers run towards him. There wasn't anything in his right hand. Kent County prosecutor Chris Becker says what happened next played a part in the decision not to charge. He explains officers saw Johnson bend his elbow at a 45-degree angle. Becker says that was a concern because Johnson potentially could have been reaching for something. In another camera video, you can hear one of the officers say he's got a gun. Then seconds later, an officer shoots Johnson 3 times in the back. According to the Michigan State Police investigation report, Johnson did have a gun, which was loaded. Becker explains that he couldn't prove beyond a reasonable doubt that these officers didn't act in self-defense.
I have to start by saying the videos that have been out there and the videos I had to review are probably some of the most troubling videos I've ever seen in my 30 years as a prosecutor. They're gut-wrenching. I cannot imagine what the family's going through. Putting it another way, in terms of when a self-defense claim or defense of others claims is raised, I have to prove that beyond a reasonable doubt that they did not act in self-defense. And based on the facts and circumstances as I see them, I just cannot simply do that, even with that, as bad as those videos show.
For that loaded gun that was on him.
Now, Johnson's mom, Angelica, says she was disappointed in Becker's decision. I talked to her before this press conference, and she also talked to the media afterwards. She says she's not going to stop fighting for her son.
I'm not just fighting for Daquan. I got grandkids. I got cousins. I have family that's still in Grand Rapids. And we have to worry about whether or not they're going to get gunned down like Daquan. I didn't expect Chris Becker to do anything but what he did. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to say this again, God has the final say-so, not Chris Becker. There's levels to this. And I will continue to fight and say my son's name and be a part of this big movement of injustice that us as people are suffering from the hands of the police.
Now, the attorneys representing the Johnson family also put out a statement this afternoon. It reads in part, the decision not to file charges against this officer is deeply disappointing for Daquan Johnson's family and raises serious questions about accountability. When a life is taken, there must be a thorough and transparent public process to determine what happened and why. Going on to say, we are continuing on our own independent investigation into this shooting and will work to ensure the full truth comes to light. Excuse me. Now, officers involved in this, I did talk to the Grand Rapids Police Department about these officers. They were put on paid administrative leave following this officer-involved shooting. From what I'm told, there's no charges on this today's announcement. They will be assigned to GRPD's training unit, where they'll be evaluated for the mental and physical preparedness to return to their assignments. This is usual practice in this case, and GRPD's internal affairs will also be conducting an investigation as well. Josh.
All right, Matt, we appreciate your coverage. And one of the questions that you asked Christopher Becker was about the Leoya case and its role in his decision today. And he made it clear that while this case has to stand alone on his decision, he did consider the way the Leoya trial played out.
Did it upload or?
Yes, he did. He said, yes, this case, Johnson's case, stands alone from what happened to Patrick Lyoya and the Christopher Schur case, but he did use it as a basis because he did explain to me when I asked that question, is that he wasn't able to find a jury to convict Schur after 2 shots with a taser. So yes, while he says Johnson's case stands alone in itself, he used that as a basis for his decision today.
Yeah, we appreciate your coverage, Matt. The prosecutor also said that this is consistent with his other decisions. Now, shortly after the prosecutor's announcement, I had a conversation with Lou Langham, a Cooley Law School professor and former Michigan State Police detective. He said prosecutors have an obligation not to bring cases forward and charge individuals when they don't believe they can prevail in front of a jury and get a guilty verdict.
And the question becomes, in the final analysis, you have to look at everything in the totality of the circumstances and make a decision as officers and then as a prosecutor later on whether or not the officers were reasonably justified in firing their weapon based upon the perceived injury, serious bodily injury to themselves and or death. And the prosecutor indicated that he felt that the officers were justified. I don't see anything wrong with that call at all. The facts of the case as they've come out seem to strongly indicate these officers should not be charged.
And you can stay with Fox 17 as we continue to follow this story surrounding the officer-involved shooting death of Daquan Johnson in Grand Rapids. Updates will be shared on air, online, and on our app.